Hey, everybody. I'm just happy, Bobby, that you're not 81. That's what I'm going to say. I'm not happy. I'm happy that you're your age and you're not an 81 or an 80-year-old, I'm sorry, turning 80 on their birthday. That's what I'm happy about.
I'm not a prostitute, but I'll knock your boots. It's Bobby T.
I'm not a prostitute, but I'll knock your boots.
Mm-hmm. Bitch better
Prostitute?
have my money.
Do prostitutes knock boots?
That's a slang for making love.
No, no, no. I know this. It's older than you. There was "Knocking the Boots." It was a very famous song by a group called H Town, and they would sing "Knocking the Boots." It was a whole. I know all the black lingo. I thought "Knocking the Boots" was also making love though, but not just fucking for money. So I would think like renting the bowling shoe would be more for a prostitute.
Ooh, I like that.
Yeah. So
Slipping on the.
yeah, don't come to me with fucking lingo, son.
No, no, yeah. I'm just quoting the AMG song. Bitch better have my money. Sometimes you gotta find the inner pimp, Pat. That's all.
I don't even want the outer pimp. I want pimp free zone. I just don't want.
Yeah, I don't know what you heard about me, Oates, but you can't get $1 out of me.
Yeah, you could.
I don't know the next line that well, no, but I'm a motherfucking PIMP.
Yeah, no one knows that third line. It's do you know? Then he goes, like, all right.
Yeah, dude, exactly. The only line people know less is she keeps a moet at Chandel in a pretty cabinet. Let them eat cake, she says, just like Sorry, I'm in a mood, man.
You are in a mood, and
ADHD, it's killing
it's
me.
wonderful. You have ADHD, but at least you're not AD. Back to the thing I led with. All right, there we go. I also have ADHD, so I can read it, I can navigate, I can punch through it, all that. I Friday had to do a fucking a private birthday party for 60 people for an 80-year-old. The guy was turning 80, and it was all family. And the wife, who was like 10 years younger, wanted it. The 80-year-old wanted it. His son, his mother of his kids, because I guess it's a remarriage, whatever, and it's his girlfriend, whatever it is. But all these people wanted it. But then there was like, out of the 60, about 30 women who don't understand that comedy isn't a TED Talk or comedy isn't all full of facts. So if I make a joke about a man, they'd like to yell out how I was incorrect in what the real truth is to everything I was trying to do while doing crowd work for 35, 40 minutes in the upstairs of a pizza restaurant. So, not that I hate the 80-year-old, but I hate the fact that he was nice enough of a man that he can get 55 people to go be there with him that I wish didn't exist.
Yeah, dude, I don't think I could get 55 at my funeral.
I said that exact
Tomorrow.
line there.
And we're going to find out soon.
I literally on stage goes, holy crap, I couldn't get this many people to my funeral. And then someone else said, I bet you could. That was the energy I was playing with the entire time. And it was like trying to do, and then at one point they started yelling because I'm like, dude, you're so old. He was great. I'm like, what's on your 80-year-old bucket list? When you turn 80 next week, what is on your bucket list? He goes, breathing. And I thought that was
like,
great.
My man, yeah.
He was smiling and he's
Fucking
like,
your mother.
Right, we kind of went.
Well, funny about that, sir. She's dead. I have her clothes.
Yes, I don't think that any of them saw my work. But they, like his grandkids were there. It was just, but every time I tried to do anything, like this one woman, I said, the son was is like in his 50s and he's a doctor, and I guess
he was 48. That's what they were doing to you. Like, you would try to get into a setup and they'd cut you off and be like, no, he was 48.
Oh, okay. I was like, what the fuck? I was like, how do you know this guy? He probably was 48. He was an emergency room doctor. And I said, are you a good doctor? And he goes, nope. Terrible. And that was kind of funny, too. Like, he was fun. And so right away, I made a joke while being a bad doctor. And I tried to tie it into me going for a colonoscopy. Like, or finding butts. And right away, this woman just goes, he's a fantastic doctor, and he's the one who checks on his father to make sure he's healthy. And I go, yeah, okay, ma'am. And I try to move on. She goes, he's a great doctor. And I go, hey, it's almost like I'm saying things in comedic fashion to attempt humor. You know, like I was fucking hired to do. Can you shut the fuck up? Half the room is laughing and half is like, this is what the fuck? Because it's a weird setting where Dion's there, he's taking pictures, laughing his ass off, like me just getting upset. And It was just very odd. And then like, oh, and then they're like, everyone here is related somehow. And then I just said, fuck it. I pointed at the guy and go, what about that black guy? You're all Italian. How the fuck are you related to that black guy? And like, half of them were like, oh shit. But then he goes, I obviously married in. And then his wife grabs his hat off his head to show that he has gray hair under his hat. And she goes, look at his hair. He's not young looking at all. And I was like, what are you doing? What are you doing? She goes, yeah, you probably think he looks good. He doesn't look good. And I go, that's the guy you fuck. Why would you point? And then some people were laughing. I'm like, why would you harass them? You should be harassing everyone else. That's the guy who puts his penis in you. What are you doing? And she goes, he's also Native American.
Oh, so he's old enough to hit you, and he's like, come on, bitch, what are you going for here?
I go, and all I said was, okay, so not only did white people take his land, but now you're taking his pride? Can you leave him goddamn alone for a minute? And then she just kind of looked, and he was laughing. It was just like pulling teeth for whatever. I would get a couple laughs here and there. They said they loved it. They actually even paid me more money than they were supposed to. I think that was kind of like, hey, man, sorry. You know, like, here's some extra. Sorry about how unfun our family is and everything stinks. And I was just like, what the fuck? It was
wow, dude.
So I walked in with, you and I have talked about this before the show and in the past. I walked in with low expectations on purpose, but usually I walk out with like feeling good, like look what I did. I walked out with the same fucking expectations of just life when I walked out of there.
So I actually had that conversation with my dad because I had a corporate Saturday for a bunch of car mechanics. Now, truth be told, an 80-year-old's birthday party for close friends and family versus a bunch of auto mechanics, I think I'm in for a better show right out the gate, right?
Yeah.
Objectively speaking, they're going to have a better sense of humor. There aren't going to be a bunch. So, but the idea is if you go in thinking any kind of good's going to come out of it and you don't get that good, it's going to be bad. If you go in thinking this is going to blow, I'm going to have to pull teeth the whole time, any kind of positive momentum, you walk away with a win, right? Right. That's kind of my thought process. I was trying to explain, like, it's almost toxically positive when you go, no, it's going to be great. It's going to be awesome. Like, no, you're making me think about all the things that could possibly be negative here. But mine did kind of go, well, did you have a stage?
No.
Okay. But did you just stand at the front of the room?
In the corner by the bar area, and the tables had a huge distance to it. So everything was set up like there shouldn't have been a person talking.
So, the people were taller than I were at the tables they were sitting at, so I had to move around the room.
Oh, boy.
And then at one point, there was a drunk guy talking, so I, like, literally had to run away from him because he kept wanting to be a part of the show. And you know me, I like to tell jokes. I don't necessarily like to do a ton of crowd work. I like to engage the audience, but, like, use them to get to my next joke. All right, who's a manager? Oh, shit, it's the dude with tattoos. You guys are fucking with me. And then I do my joke about being a manager, a dick. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
But now I got to shuck and jive. Okay, this table's talking. But all in all, it was a great show. Ended up being a lot of fun. They paid me the exact amount of money they did. I did significantly less time than I told them I would, but they were happy in the end. You know, it was one of those things where everybody was drunk and ready to just get drunker.
What was the agreed upon time that they thought a guy could do by himself for a show like that?
I think I told him I would do like 35 to 45.
Yeah.
I did.
That's
37.
a lot of time for
I did
without
37.
any opener. You know what I mean? Like a lot of people just go, "Oh, you can do that time anyway." I'm like, "Yeah, but you usually do it with that when there's momentum built, and at least even if momentum's not built, at least the audience has established that they understand what they're at and they're listening, and someone has trained them at first, a host or even someone doing 5 minutes. Like when you just have like the head of the mechanics division come up and go, "This is great. Bill got an award, and now we got a jokes guy. Hope he's funny." Bobby Campbell. Like, that doesn't help anybody.
Oh, not at all. And it didn't even go that way. They were eating. Somebody was sitting at his table, literally still eating, just went, I know a lot of you didn't think we were going to have a comic, but here he is. Bobby, what's your name? Campbell. And then just handed me the mic. And I was like, all right, here we go. But to be honest, they were ready to play. I did both shows I had this weekend. You've heard my therapy bit. It went about as well as I could possibly imagine it going, where the audience started out hating me because I found the girl with the crazy hair and went, I bet you're in therapy. And she went, right, how'd you know I got the fucking hair? And then just boom, they hate me. And by the end, they were applauding. So
nice.
It's coming together well. But, dude, Friday, Gettysburg, PA, Lennon Free, myself, and Earl David Reed. and I go first, and the audience is just not into it. I'm at the Lincoln Social Club. I get like 3 jokes, and then, you know, when you're starting off a show, you got to get them going a bit. But it's kind of the same thing you're doing. I say something, somebody yells out a factual correction. Well, technically, Gettysburg wasn't integrated until this year, so it would make more sense that we are all white. Like, God damn, lady. I did my typical with black guys in the back of the room in Gettysburg, of all places. Come on up here, sir. No, he chose to sit there. And so finally I just went, dude, if Abe Lincoln was talking to you people, he'd welcome John Wilkes Booth. And like half the room laughed. And I went, for the rest of you dang it, I want a bullet to the fucking head instead of performing for you. Lighten the fuck up. It's a comedy show. And dude, the room turned in a good way. Yeah. They're like, oh, I get it now. Like it went well. It's like, thank God, because that could have gone real south.
So in Gettysburg, well, first of all, real south is hilarious.
That was intended.
I know. But it's also funny that Gettysburg changed their mind. Yeah. They were doing everything they were supposed to do. Like they did it all. So.
Oh man.
So yeah, with bad show themes. So Thursday, my Thursday and Friday was I had a show that I was closing in New Haven, Connecticut at 7:00. I had to be host and headline comics in Mohegan Sun, which is like an hour away, at 10:00. And then I would get home around 1, and then I had to be at the Chaz and AJ Toy Drive at like 5:30 in the morning. You know, and then I had a show Friday night for fucking 80-year-old man. So I was like, I was already tired before I did any of this fucking shit anyway. But when I got to the fucking first show, they had a huge private event downstairs, and you know it's getting to be a later time of year. She's the woman who ran it said she's had some good audiences, but this was like, at one point she was like, "Hey, we might only have like 2 or 3 people," but I was happy. You know, she didn't cancel it, and I didn't give a shit. She's like, you know, I'll pay you regardless. She canceled some of the people that weren't getting paid that were traveling a little far, like on the showcase, whatever they're doing in front of me. And but what was cool was like because it was there, like so I'm walking in. I don't know any of the opening acts. They're like Boston, New York gays. I think it was just a bunch of gays and me. Like it's what the flyer looked like Pat and the Liberace dancers. I'm like, all right, this is gonna be something. So, or you know, for your younger people, choose your favorite gay, whatever. But when I walk in, it's a you know if you walk like somewhere like upstairs and when they have like a set of staircase and then like a flat area and then he turns and goes up the other way, like almost like a maze type thing. I'm walking up one way, my back's to like the open area of the upstairs, and okay. I hear, "Yo, Pat, what's going on?" And I just thought it was like some guy who kind of recognized like one of the flyer gays, and I was like, I don't know who this is, but I turn. And it's my favorite gay. It's Pete Angelo standing there, Metal Pete.
I was about to say, it's you and Pete Angelo.
I walk up, and he's like, I'm like, what the fuck are you doing here? And he's like, we were, him at any point to my buddy Alex Thomas.
Sucking cock.
Yeah, Alex, who's also been on here before. They were both standing. I go, what are you guys doing here? They're like, we have a show in Connecticut. They're both in New York now. They're like, we have a show, you know, in about an hour or two, but we saw that you had a flyer that you were going to be here, so we thought we'd stop by and say hi quick. I'm like, that's fucking awesome. And then another comic I like a lot walks in, this guy's Giancarlo, and I go, why is the coat room fucking funnier than the goddamn lineup? Like, with all these guys here. And then Giancarlo was like, no, dude, I'm on the show. I guess 2 of the guys couldn't make it, so she hit me up, and I was open. So I'm like, okay. So at least it's someone else that I think's real funny on the show with me. And then she was funny. I never saw her before. And then there was one other dude from, like, New York or something that came. But some people started walking in, and she goes, oh, I think it's just a small little gathering. They're kind of treating it like a Christmas party. It was 9 people who were doing their residencies, like younger people, like they're beginning residencies after getting their PhD or getting out of college from Yale, New Haven, that are all gynecologists. That was our audience. 9, yes and no, because it sounds fun, but like if I'm going last, you know how many times people are gonna bring it up? You know what I mean? It's like it's almost one of those things you'd rather go first than like it just. Like those vaginas, it gets exhausted and stretched out. You know what I mean?
So these are all the jokes I would have opened with what you just said. God, I'm not going to make those vagina jokes. I feel like much like a vagina at this point. They're all worn out and beaten. You know, like that's a rubber band, won't stretch back.
So when the other comics go up, they're getting the best they can get out of 9 people who kind of are just there to hang out with their friends. They're listening. They're not rude. They're enjoying comedy, but they're not like uproaring or anything because they're just like, we just wanted to do something dumb and different. You know what I mean? So they're just kind of sitting there, whatever. And right when I'm about to go up and they're bringing me up, a couple who was downstairs at this private party and their fucking baby, like a still in the baby Bjorn attached to the chest, probably feeding on tit baby, come walking up and they sit in the back area of the room going, is it cool if we sit up here? And they're like, I guess as long as your baby's quiet. We were doing a comedy show, and they're like, I love that the mother goes, the baby doesn't mind. Like, wasn't fucking worried about the baby.
Who's on stage? The baby's a big Carlin fan.
Baby loves baby loves Chef Dunham. Like, fuck your baby. Get your goddamn baby out of here.
Baby says Dunham's a hack. Give him Hicks.
Yeah, the baby said that he could do a better job putting his hand up someone's ass than Dunham. But so I go up and right away, not even saying hi. I just go, "Is that baby here to me?" Are you guys like big fans? The baby big fans. I said, the baby big fans of you guys. Like, which one of you were there? And they're like, "Why?" I go, well, why else would a baby come to a show with gynecologists? Like, I don't remember my gynecologist that was there when I came out. Are you guys? And then I was like, wait, do gynecologists even go there? Then they start talking. So I went like natural with it, and it was like fun for the beginning. Then it was like, I just want to pull teeth for like fucking 35 minutes. So I was like, at one point I just went, okay, I went to my high school reunion recently. You guys are younger and didn't go yet, but you guys are fucking like rock stars. You're all fucking, I'm sure, top of your class. Each one of you tell me who's better than you in your high school. And it became this crazy thing where they were just like, one girl goes, like 12 people. I go, how the fuck are 12 people better than you when you have a residency? And only one was from Connecticut. Everyone else moved from all over the country and shit, like people from California, Boston, whatever. And then one lady just goes, I'm definitely second. And I go, why don't you believe in yourself? Why aren't you first? She goes, I would love to. The other girl is a chemist, and she just like cured. So I forget what some kind of fucking this. She goes, you know what? That's a sweet too, though. Like if you're just behind Madame Curie or whatever the fuck, that's a pretty sweet too.
Nikado avocado.
Yes, I told my daughter that you went to school, and she goes, she wrote that tracks. So
I'm gonna need your daughter to elaborate on that, Pat.
She was like two fun characters coming from the same school.
What are they putting in the water at Lord Often? A lot of mental illness coming out of that. 717.
Two people who have to go on the internet to go, please like me. That's what they're doing. She didn't say
trust
that.
me.
I threw that.
I don't have to go on the internet. I know they don't like me, buddy.
No, but that's why you're saying please, please.
And that's why I measure by the foot, not the inch.
Fruit by the foot. That was the thing too. I asked them how they would beat up a toddler. And what?
No fruits by the foot. That's why the two gay comics couldn't make it.
Oh, gays. Okay.
HIV.
Because I said, I've been working on a joke where I say it's a dumb thing about fighting a child, and at the end I say the way I do it, I would hold up a Capri Sun and kick him in the throat, and I said, well, which way would you guys do it? You have to choose one thing a kid likes and one move. And a couple of them didn't want to do it, and one lady goes, is fruit roll-up still a thing? And I go, I do appreciate that you, a woman who's going to be like rich someday and a doctor, asked me white trash. Yeah, that was my dinner, bitch. And they all kind of laughed at that. I go, that's all I do is eat fruit roll-ups all fucking day. And she goes, oh, and spinning elbow. I'm like, oh, sweet. I like that. Thanks for bringing something to the table. So then I finished that show with like 9 fucking people. And we speed off to the casino. And all the people that were bringers on it, except for 2, bailed. So I went from a show that had 9 people to a show at the casino that had 11 people. I did 20 people in 2 fucking shows with literally me, my buddy Andrew Alfredo, and just 2 bringer comics doing it. And it was fun because it was like one guy brought 10 of them, and they were all older black people. And I went Apollo. I went fucking... like all crowd were like, what? You say what? Just like, it was a lot of fun, but it was just
this is how white people be fucking.
Yeah, it's like, I think I said to one person, what that mouth do, just to have fun. Like, I'm just saying whatever. And they're all laughing, and it was fine, whatever. But here I am already exhausted and going, what? I could have stayed home. Yes, I got paid for both these things and whatever. It was fine. But I'm like, I could have stayed home so I don't have to get up at fucking 5:30 and the guy, or be somewhere by 5:30 in the fucking morning and sleep for 3 fucking hours.
When you woke up at 5:30, would you say you were paralyzed?
No. And I also wasn't fully paralyzed because once I saw Finger 11 there, it was they didn't bring their whole band. They had to be acoustic. And listen, it was cool to see it live, but you want drums in that song. If not, it's just you feel old hearing it
I'm
in the
not
coffee house way.
paralyzed, but I seem to be struck by you.
He didn't
Don't
slow down his
wanna
singing. It
make
just
you
didn't have the
move.
drums.
I thought he was doing like the unplugged MTV version.
Kind of, but at least they were smart enough to have the guitar guy stay fast, and he put power into it. It was great, but like you're sitting there going, "This is the one fucking song I know of yours." Can you could do the other two you sang acoustic? You know what I mean? Like,
Did the
give
drummer
me.
have like one of those shitty boxes they sit on sometimes and they play like, you know what I'm talking about?
No, but they didn't even bring a drummer. Like I was saying, like it
Oh,
was
God.
just the guitar guy and the acoustic guy. Because Foghat had needed all the room because Foghat brings 8,000 fucking pieces of equipment because Foghat are divas.
Hey, Foghat, can we use your drum set? No, and I swear to God, if you touch my fucking drum set, I'll break your fucking neck.
Hey Scott, what's going on, man? Yeah, so it was. So I get there at like 5:45. The place is fucking packed. Over 200 people in there. A lot of them drinking inside this furniture store. It's fucking crazy. Great bands. You know, two performances by both those bands. Foghat's merch is weird. Foghat gave them merch. It's just a hat that says Fog on it. I get it, but you know what I mean. It's just like. Fuck you. Yeah. I was not. As a comic, I was mad.
If you, the king of wordplay, hate that, no, fuck them. You love puns and you hate that. Fuck them.
I'm mad. I was mad at the fact that that was their thing. Like, it just feels. I like wordplay, but I don't like charging for it. You know what I mean? Like that feels a little harsh. But there was a lot of shit that happened. Like that Jack Black thing, School of Rock. Like, there really are schools of rock after that Jack Black movie, whatever. So every year,
Yeah.
we have the school there, and they play a lot of songs. Dude, there is this group. There's three groups. There's the teenagers. There's the instructors when they play. They do a song each, and then there's a group of 10 and 9-year-olds that fucking ruled. And this kid Max, who's 10 years old, he's the next Mick Jagger, dude, the greatest front man I've ever fucking seen. He comes out, he goes, "New Haven, let me hear you." He's like 10, but he sounded real, and he's moving around. He brought it down for a little bit during the song, and he's like,
Ladies, if you aren't ready to suck some cock, leave right now.
I don't
We have
know
a 9
what
and
show you
10-year-old
go to.
class.
What the hell? Imagine going to a concert, like, if you're not ready to suck, like, what is this? A little aggressive.
He comes out. Was it Lil Baby that got in trouble for his rant?
Yes.
He comes out and gives a little baby speech. Now, none of y'all better have no HIV or STDs because I don't want you in my crowd.
He comes out and he's just like, he has the crowd bring it down so he can like point out like on bass is Phil or whatever. He's just doing it. And the kid was shredding who was there. They were great. And then at the end, so Chaz calls him over and goes, "I got to talk to you for a minute." You know, and he comes over to do the interview and he's like, he goes, "So how long you guys been doing this?" Obviously he's asking that of a 10-year-old for him to go like, "Oh, my mom bought me a guitar a year ago," or something like that. And he goes, "We've been a band for about a year and a half, but about 6 months ago, we lost our drummer. So we got John here now, and now it feels right." So AJ goes to rehab, which I thought was very funny to say to like a 10-year-old kid. And
Amazing.
The kid went right with it. And he goes, "We don't like to talk about personal problems. We just wish him the best." I was like, yo, like,
That
Jesus Christ.
That kid's set. Yeah.
The kid ruled. And then he jumped back, and then he's walking away. And then Chaz goes, "Dude, but your vocals were so great. Can you sing like anything a cappella for like 20 seconds, any like classic rock song, older song?" So he's quiet for a second, and Chaz goes, "Oh, if that's too much, you don't know one." He goes, "No, I'm just running through my head which one I should rock." And he goes, "You guys like Linkin Park?" And then he goes, "I try so hard, in the end, does it really matter?" No music, fucking nails it as a 10-year-old, like had a deeper little voice and everything. It was crazy. There's
Now,
a back.
I'm assuming when he said Linkin Park, you got up to hit him for calling that classic rock and
what
making me feel fucking ancient. God
yeah.
damn, fuck that 10-year-old.
That to him it is ancient rock, dude. I mean, to a 10-year-old, that's fucking. Meteora came out 20 years ago. That's like fucking nuts. So he goes in the back, and they had a sectioned off back area for, because we had like musicians, politicians, fucking all the radio guests, the people that work at radio, all the stuff, all in the back area. We had food for us and stuff. They had to separate this room because there's a bunch of animals out front and
They
everything.
had to keep the politicians away from the kids.
Yeah, we're trying our best. But those kids were too hot. It was too much. So I go in the back area and I see people talking to the kid, and every adult is like, "You were great. You know, that was amazing. So great." And he just kept doing the same answer. "It's not about me. We're all one. Me and the group." It's like this guy is gonna get laid when he is old enough to get laid. Like so much. He's like the coolest dude. And he's 10.
Do you have like the old radio hag that works for you guys?
An old radio hag?
Yeah. So I have another friend who works in radio who, if you know who I am, you'd know very easily. Who, like, the show after him is an old. She used to be like a VJ type, like the hot young chick, and now she's just ancient, but still thinks she's young and hot. That's who's going to blow that kid backstage. She's like some 80-year-old woman who thinks she's 14.
To be clear to everybody, Bobby doesn't think that she's gonna blow a child. He means when this kid's old enough.
Yeah. As soon as he turns 18, just to make that clear.
Because no, we don't have a lady who blows kids at our radio station. As far as I know, it's like I don't know. We don't really have many females on the classic rock station. No, it's not classic rock anymore. They're switching to just rock, whatever. But I guess. But we do have a woman on there, but she was a cool rocker back in the day, but she still maintains cool rocker. You know what I mean? So it's like she didn't go sea hag style, which was nice.
Nice, I love that. Sea hag's the worst.
It's the worst kind of hag of all the hags.
Wait, didn't you have something like the politicians had to make out? Because they hated each other as a bitter rival?
I'm getting to that. It wasn't make out.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't want to.
Oh, no, not in a bad way. But no, I'm happy you said that. But it wasn't, to be clear, we didn't make people make out. That would be wild. But what they did do is
No. Tell me more about this toy drive where 80-year-olds blow kids and you force people to make out. It's the greatest toy drive ever.
If you were booking this, it'd be a way crazier toy. I don't know how many
toys. Brought to you by Harvey Weinstein.
Yeah. In Trojan. It's like so there's a bunch of different people. There's politicians, there's this and that, whatever. By the way, when I got there, me and Chaz talked the night before, and he didn't really have a I wasn't even sure I was going, because he really didn't have a plan for me this year, which I was fine with, because I was like, literally, like, if I don't go, I'm going to be so tired Thursday. I'm fine. I've been in the last 3. I wanted other people to get a chance to do things. They have so many segments and so many things going on that, like, a lot of shit gets bumped. And when things get bumped, because the time goes by so fast and you fuck up with shit, the first people that are going to get bumped are the comedians that are just going to do a silly segment. You can't bump the politicians or the celebrities or whatever like that are there. So because of that, I was like, I didn't care about doing it. But we talked the night before, and he's like, what do you think you can do? And I go, I don't know. Last year you had me just go in the crowd like a man of the streets thing and just talk to them when you needed time to kill. And he goes, if you don't mind doing that, but I don't want you just sitting around. What if I don't get to that? But I'll probably get at least once in the early hour. I'm like, if I go on one time, I don't care if I go on or not. I don't need to be on stage with you guys. That's not me. Like I go on stage all the time. I'd rather blend in and have fun with the people than like be in a here comes Pat Oates with a wacky segment. You know what I mean? It's just not me. Some guys, that's what they are. And politicians, you have to do that. Others, like news people, you have to do that because they don't know how to do shit on their own. You know what I mean? Yes.
Didn't you your first year do that? And then ended up going into the crowd and killing, and that's how you earned the man on the street spot? Or am I mixing up stories here?
Yeah, I've never been a man on the street guy.
Like into the crowd, I mean. Like you said, like last year. No, were you an elf or something?
No, my origin of the growth of Pat is 3 years ago. I was an angry elf that had to break up a wedding between one of the politicians that was going to be, as you said, making out with someone. That politician was going to be officiating 2 people, the fans, getting married, and I had to go, no, it stinks or whatever. Like that was the kind of thing. 2 years ago, I was AJ's hernia. They gave me like a turkey costume that was deflated, and I dressed like that. Last year, I was Ebenezer Scrooge, wearing the sleep cap and the whole thing. But we were going to do a bit with it. But then once we got there early, they realized, we're going to get to the bit. And also, he needed someone to be on stage a lot. So I was on stage with them, kind of just being a third mic for a while. And then near the end, they had me go into the crowd once or twice to do that. So I had done it with them one time before. But this was going to be the only time where it was kind of like, hey, we're just going to kick to that a lot. And it was expected. So I was like, fine. And I went into the crowd, like, I was like, I don't know when it's going to start. So, like, the show starts at 6. I'm like, I probably got time to grab a bagel, do whatever. But, like, 6:05, the producer grabbed me and goes, grab a mic right now. He wants to do it now. I'm like, all right, fuck. All right. So I go out there. I did it 4 fucking times throughout the show, and it was a lot of fun, and people were excited, and it was a good fucking time. But, like, I'm doing that back and forth and walking by different politicians and the governor and all that, and they're kind of like, they've seen me there enough times where even the governor goes, take it easy on me this year. And I'm like, all right, Ned, which I probably shouldn't have called him Ned, but like, a little point, he just walks by me like an idiot.
A S-A in public, call me Carlos.
I don't think Carlos Lamont is not his name. The whitest name ever, Ned Lamont. But we so one of the other so I did all that shit. But one of the other segments they had was when they have four of the mayors come up and they do like Family Feud. There's the mayor of New Haven, East Haven. One of the towns, Talon, doesn't have a mayor, so he's like the selectman or
Old
whatever.
Haven.
Which one?
Old Haven?
We don't have an Old Haven. There was just New Haven, East Haven. There's no South Haven either. That's the fucking water. That was the old joke when I was growing up. South Haven, you're in the fucking water, bitch. Like, all right, why are you yelling at me, old man? I don't get your.
It's Aquaman here to represent South Haven.
Yeah, I don't have a map yet. I'm a fucking kid. I don't give a fuck. By the way, I can't. If you could read what he wrote, I put it up there for you.
A kid band that was influenced by Gigi Allen would be funny. Yes, it would be very, very funny. Would also probably be very illegal.
When the Foghat drummer is an old ass man, I thought looked like Ebenezer Scrooge, and I put a picture up, or Ichabod Crane, sorry. And then somebody said he looks like Jimmy Savile, and I was like, well, good thing he wasn't here earlier then. Because he would have been a big fan of those opening bands. But so they get the four mayors up. It's the two of there. It's a guy from Tolland, and it's my town's mayor, and he's always a character. Like he was a Golden Gloves boxer. I believe he went to prison the same time in the same prison as Tyson. I think that's like his bragging point. Like, yeah, me and Tyson did time together.
Tyson was my bitch.
Like, why would that be your brag? Unless you shared a cell with him. You know what I mean? Like, as a politician, most of them try to avoid, yeah, I was in prison.
Both of us were falsely convicted of rape.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's his story at least. Like,
Yeah.
so they go up there and they do like a Family Feud thing. And, you know, for those who are watching and don't know, Family Feud, like when they do like top 10 answers on the board and people guess a thing. And they set it up to be comedic. They did it last year with him, and they were like, words that rhyme with election, and he busts erection screaming. Like, he's just so ready to be funny. I think he forgets that he has a job in office where it's like, all right, dude, you don't have to scream erection, but okay. But he topped it this year because they were going different questions, and they go top 10 answers on the board. Bobby, I'm pretty sure you're gonna guess it before I say it, so I'll let you, Brady. Things you beat.
Women.
Your wife. Dude, the mayor of my town. Man, your wife. 200 people quiet. Like, what the fuck? Chaz just goes, whoa. Like, what else do you
Your town
do?
sucks. That would have killed in my town, dude. If the mayor of Hummelstown buzzed in and went, my wife, dude, he would be the king of Hummelstown. We would be mayor for life.
I get what you're saying, but yes, that would also mean it was at night and not for children with the Boys and Girls Club. Like, dude, there's the governors there. There's so many people there that no one's ready for spousal abuse from the mayor. Like, at 7:30 in the morning. It's a wild time to be doing that. It's like, what the fuck? And he was just smiling like, it was fucking nuts. But overall, they raised like $170,000, and they did a fucking great job. It was great, and then I left there, and then I went home and passed out like a fucking fool, and then went and yelled at an 80-year-old lady. So hey kid, stay in school. That's what I'm saying. Like, stay in school. Don't do comedy. I hate my life. But you had the shows. Anything else?
I spent more time in my car this weekend than I did in my bedroom.
Isn't that normal? You're always running around.
Eat the meat like a redheaded stepchild, says Scott Fitzpatrick. What happened, Pat, was there was an accident on 78.
Wait, what?
When we were talking about things to beat.
Oh. I was like, can we finish the show?
Nah, man, if he's going to hang around, just at least super chat when you jizz.
Are we going to OnlyFans the show? I was like, what is he requesting? It's like, all right, throw some coins in this bit. Like, oh, yeah, if you're going to ask us to beat off, you got to hit the like button. Is that how this works?
Subscribe. You got to subscribe.
Does. I'm sure.
Yeah, no, I know. It's Scott, you can beat off. It's fine. But,
oh, wait, dude, no.
Anyway, back to...
No, dude, no.
No, he can't beat off?
He can do it when it's over to us, like gentlemen, not during.
As long as he sticks around afterwards.
I don't want to hear
really
the word
care.
sticks. With that.
Yeah, yeah, buddy. But a tractor trailer flipped like a mile in front of me, and for 3 hours I just parked on 78.
Did you see it?
Nope, not. I got up
okay.
there and it was all sprayed off the road. I just screamed out my window, "He better be fucking dead."
Whoa, was he?
I don't know.
You didn't look it up?
No, I don't give a shit.
Wow, that's gangster. Why don't you give a shit about a man flipped over and dead? That's crazy.
It cost me 3 hours of my life.
Right, that's why I'd want to know. And if they're you, you'd look it up. You'd search his family. You'd tell them your husband was even a waste in death.
Yeah, and I was picking fights at that point anyway. Life wasn't good.
Fights.
No, but here's what I thought.
Wait, no, who were you picking fights with? The guy who was dead in the tractor trailer?
The UPS truck driver next to me. Yes, I am beating off, sir. It's part of my weightlifting program. Look away.
Did you
or
beat
watch.
off like
I
a
don't give a shit.
redheaded cousin or whatever he said?
No, I don't like to do anything like redheaded people.
What do they do?
Drink.
They do drink. And they don't sunbathe.
No, they do not sunbathe. Some of them do, but
I do
those
like a
aren't
redhead.
natural redheads.
I
I do
am
like
a
them too.
redhead.
Yeah, yeah. I just don't want to be one.
Not a fella, though. I don't like
No.
those. I don't like those fucking guys who hung out with Harry Potter.
Other than Santino. Santino's all right.
Yeah, but he hangs out with an Asian to make himself seem stronger and bigger.
Dude, that's why I hang out. Never mind.
All right, so anyway, so you're driving. Now, have you ever seen a truck flip over on the highway like that? Like, or a wreck like that? Like, or something on fire? I've definitely seen that. It's
I not actively.
You
And by
driven
the time I
while
got
it's on
there, there
fire?
was just water. Yeah. But
Me and this comic, Frankie Hill, were driving up to a gig years ago, and all of a sudden, as we're driving, we see in the side a car like starting to like putter like in the passing lane, and then we see smoke starting to come out of it, and then just flame as we're driving, just flames are coming in the car, and we drive by, and it's like I was like, should we pull over? And Frankie goes, well, we're already past them. Make no point. I'm like, what the fuck? We were in this. We could have stopped.
One time we were driving back from a Foxy Shazam show, going like, 10 over the speed limit. A car passed us probably going 10 faster. So like 80 and a 65. Nothing crazy.
Like normal, really.
Literally gets 5 paces in front of us and hits a deer. The deer spins out on the road, 360s, gets up, runs away. She pulls over. She's a mother with a kid in the car. But when I say a mother, I mean like a 19-year-old single mom who's freaking out going, this is all my fault because I was speeding. This is all my fault. And we go, okay, when the cops get here, you weren't speeding. And she's like, why? And I was like, your insurance, you dumb bitch. Like, shut the fuck up. And then we left her there.
Dumb bitch. Oh.
Like, once we heard the sirens in the distance and we saw the lights coming, we were like, all right, we don't want to be a part of this because we had things in the car, and some of us were
Did she have a child?
drunk, underage, not with her, but like it was
okay.
a mom going home to be with. If she had a kid, we would have stayed.
That's
It
what I was
just
wondering
her.
when you said that. I'm like, come on, man. You gotta fucking get his
No. Like the kid wasn't in the car, but you could see the car carrier, and we got her whole life story. Rich, I'm sure you had other things to do. No stress. He says, "Hey boys, late to the game."
I see it. I see Kish. Fucking making sure he knows that he's late. You don't have to bring a hall pass in, Kish. You're fine.
But then we were like, "Oh God, I really hope the ambulance and cops got there." Like, because it's not. It's just gonna be last seen with 3 men on the side of the highway. But as I was sitting there, I was like, I need the holiday spirit. And so I was looking through Netflix, and it wasn't working. The only app I could get access to is the Hallmark app.
A Hallmark app?
My mom loves Hallmark. My dad loves Hallmark movies.
Oh, for the movies.
Yes. Are you familiar with the Hallmark Christmas paradigm?
Oh, yeah.
So for those of you who are straight in the audience, let me break it down.
That was not nice. You presented it, then asked me if I know it, then called me gay.
No, I'm calling myself gay as well. I'm making fun of myself for
You have
knowing
the
this.
gay app. That's like worse than I'd rather have Grindr on my phone than the Hallmark app.
Remember earlier where you were like, sometimes things are just for jokes.
That one was rude. You stopped, you gave me, and you moved on.
I didn't mean to gay you. I looped you in with me. But anyway,
gay me.
For those of you in the audience, yes, it'll be easier to read if it's in all caps. Thank you, Scott. It's basically this. Rich girl from a big city, goes back to her hometown, meets, like, up and rising star pursuing his passion or whatever, who would quite, clearly has a lot of potential but hasn't earned his what he's worth yet. You know the type. And then they fall in love, and she leaves the sugar daddy she has in New York for him. Right?
Yeah.
Here's the dude. It could be literally pick any 80s child star.
Well, no,
She's
now
the female.
It's funny. I start feeling old because now I started seeing that it's actually people from like 2010s, and I'm like, no, it's supposed to be Meredith Baxter Birney forever. Like, he can't fucking get new ones.
Typically, it's Winnie Cooper, if you remember her. Mm-hmm. She's in all of them.
I remember Winnie Cooper. I was at the age where you were jerking off to Winnie Cooper.
Great one was Lindsay Lohan, put out one last year on Netflix. Same idea. Ski resort, same idea. Anyway, here's the part I feel like they miss one major plot point as this whole thing's coming together. Right? Because, like, she always runs into this dude at the repair shop halfway through the movie, and they start talking again, right? You know why he's there? To fix the holes he's putting in his drywall, dealing with this crazy situation. Like, in all of these movies, the dude who's pursuing it just takes it like a goddamn champ. And I feel like that's really not the situation.
No. Like, they can't, but they have to, right? Because the audience, everyone that's watching it, that's what they want.
I know. I think, in all honesty, the fucking people watching that movie would love to see the emotional depth of the guy, and he learns to just love himself before he's ready for love from anybody else along the way.
No, they don't want men. People are tired of men. They wanted men to be emotional, and then they all got emotional. Now they're like, cut this shit.
Yeah, so
stop it. We thought we wanted this, and you're all crying.
Like, he, instead of punching the wall, now he gets a pro Olympic weight rack, and he just hits that more than he should, and he starts considering steroids, and like none of that's in these movies, and like
none of that prison lifestyle's happening in Hallmark.
No, or like there's no point where he's like got a noose around his neck, and he's like, I got my kid. Or, my parents would be sad.
Imagine watching Hallmark and you're like, wait, did that guy just kill himself?
No,
there's like 30 minutes left in this movie.
He's about to, but he's like, I'll wait till MLK Day so I don't ruin a good holiday for my folks. I don't want him to be sad every Christmas. We'll wait till, that holiday they already don't like.
Yeah, can we get on the writing team for a Hallmark thing? So we get in there and they were like, we're pitching in the room. So they're doing there's a one story about this man, and he wants more than anything love, and he's not getting right before on Christmas Eve. He goes to the side of his bed and he kneels down to pray. And then either you or I are like, and then when he kneels down, his knee goes on George Floyd's throat and kills him and ruins Christmas. They're like, no, that's not how it happens.
No. Yeah, they don't put that in the movie either.
George Floyd?
No. There was no reference to him in any of the Hallmarks.
He's not really in any movies anymore.
No. Anyway, why are we talking?
I thought he was the most famous person of all time.
No, that's Jesus.
They already drew him on buildings like they do other famous black people.
Wow. They just kind of like adjusted some of the facial features slightly.
Was he become Jimmy Walker?
No, I'm saying they did Jimmy Walker and they turned it into Floyd.
That's a good flip if you're gonna do it.
The other thing I don't like about Hallmark movies is why does every town have a Christmas Eve party / dance or festival?
Yeah.
Like, no one does that.
You ever see the movie Grosse Point Blank?
No.
It's got John Cusack. It's got Joan Cusack. It actually does have 2 other Cusacks. I didn't know there was 4 fucking Cusacks, but this one they got the most Cusacks in one fucking movie.
They should play Family Feud at your toy drive next year.
And Cusack comes up and goes, "Beat your wife." It's an easy and. He's like, I've got no skin in the game. They're the famous ones. I can yell some shit.
I know all about John. Right?
Did you ever see John and Joan in the same room? John's a tranny. Like, all right, Ann, get the hell out of here.
Beat your dick while wearing your wife's stockings, right, John?
Hey, you can hold that radio over your head, but you can't hold a hard on for more than 4 minutes. Like, all right, it's a little much. No need to do this. But I've never seen it before, and then someone I was hanging out with was like, "Oh, watch this movie," and it's very good. Like when you watch it that time, you're like, it's one of those movies that when you watch it, you go, "Oh, people saw this movie and then started writing a whole genre of movies with like insane banter back and forth because of that. You know what I mean? Like there was a whole time of movies like you could tell this was a well enough known one where all these other directors and writers were just like, let's copy this thing, whatever. But in this one, it was about they were going back to a high school reunion. It's basically a guy who's a hitman who had disappeared for 10 years, and he's at his 10-year, and everyone's like, where were you? And he couldn't say what it was, but he came back, and also, like, of course, hijinks of having the murder people happen, whatever. But when they went to their high school reunion, it was back at the high school in the gym. There was bands, there was like, it was set up like it was literally the prom. It is like, they're adults now, and they were just walking free through the school. And then at one point, this guy goes into his locker to find something, like, that was 10 fucking years ago. And you broke into it, but like your weed is still in there. Nobody smoked your weed in a locker for 10 fucking. It was the same kind of like mindless thing where they're like, remember all this and nothing changed. On the radio, they were talking about everyone's excited for the 10-year. Like, everyone in the town is excited for this one fucking graduating class. I hate when movies do that.
Are you going to go back to your reunion?
I just performed at it.
Oh, but you said you didn't feel like you were a part of that class.
Well, I've never been invited to any of them. I don't think anyone knows what grade I graduated with because I was just told to leave.
I do not see myself going back.
What's your next one?
It was supposed to happen during COVID. They keep trying to reschedule it, and they're
but if it's not an even number, they can't do it. You can't have
they
12.
They want to do the 10 2 years later or some shit.
12. You like, fuck you. No, you can't do that.
Well, here's my response. Every time they post in the group, what date works for everybody, I just respond, I'm booked that day. And they're like, no, we were just asking when you're free. I'm like, nah, I'm booked then.
Yeah. But then they shouldn't keep asking. It should just be like, all right, we're done.
They don't get the hint.
And they charge you to go see people you don't want to see. That's just nuts. But yeah, like so I watched a movie. It's on Netflix this week.
Whoa, quit bragging.
Yeah, I'm big brag. I had a couple moments where I could not be on a show failing, so I figured I'd watch something bad instead. There's a movie called Leave the World Behind. Have you heard of this?
No.
Okay, so the cast is star-studded. Right? It's a Netflix original movie with Julia Roberts, Ethan Hawke. I can't ever say his name.
Wait, she play a prostitute?
No.
Okay. I was gonna say, I think I know this movie.
Believe me, you would wish she would play. This is the worst role she's ever played and worst acting she ever did. The guy, I can't remember his name. It's like...
I don't mean to start a debate, but have you seen Aaron Brockovich?
Yeah, I thought it was a fantastic movie. I don't know what you're going to go with it, but like she won awards.
Yeah, she won awards. Here's how Aaron Brockovich worked. I got tits. Let me be a lawyer.
Well, it was based on
a
true story.
You can't be a lawyer.
Right?
I know. And
she can't help that Aaron had. That
was
what Aaron
sure
did.
I can't be a lawyer?
That's not how it went.
I love the environment, do you?
Okay. I want a remake
more like
of Aaron
Brockovich.
I want Aaron Brockovich remake with you in it. Hello, I'm a lady. It's like, all right, I don't know what's going on, but you win. I would never go into case against you. This guy's nuts.
That is a good technique. It's the old Aaron Brockovich defense.
We're pleading insanity. I'm like, you're the lawyer. Like, I'm nuts.
Ooh, yeah, I'm out of order. You're out of order. My cock's out of order. Hey, Stormy.
My cock is out of order. Can you put a sign on it? Out of order. Be back in 10 minutes.
Be a great way to be like trans incognito, just an out of order sign over your genitalia.
Or a tremendous way to deal with erectile dysfunction. Instead of just saying it's not hard, you just put a sign on. Out of order. Please use the stairs.
That's way better than mine of just blaming Jesus.
Why was he there?
Oh, I'm sorry. It's my Catholic guilt.
Oh, I thought because he was watching you.
Yeah, no, I'm never more Catholic than when I can't get a rod.
I haven't heard rod in a while. Rod's old school. Also, I think white people can't say that because we don't really get rods.
Speak for yourself.
Whatever. Maybe pretzel.
You see the tag? You see the tag?
No.
By the foot, not the inch. Right, Stormy?
What, are we getting creepy with our one female? What are we doing? Let her
She's
be.
my wife, dude. Do you not remember that?
No, you got engaged, and
Engaged?
the way you're talking,
Okay.
you're getting divorced. That was, you like that shit? You like it, Stormy? My penis? It's like, that's not how we
It
talk
was
to
just a
people.
joke, dude. I don't know. I'm out. Anyway, what do
Sexually
you want for
harassing.
Christmas? What do you want for Christmas?
For you not to sexually harass Stormy.
All right, all I want is a gun.
No, we're going to flip it from sexual harassment to fucking suicide?
Or steroids. Or HGH, not steroids. I don't want to be
Do
angry.
you have one of those Amazon wish lists?
No.
You should make up a fake one where it's those things. And see if anyone just keep promoting that at the end of shows and stuff. Please go to my Amazon wish list, and here's the things I want. And it's have like a gun, steroids. What was the other thing? Penis.
No, I mean that's pretty much it.
What else would you want? If you had if Santa was real and he helped adults, what are the 5 things you would ask for?
I don't want to.
Steroids.
No, I don't want steroids. They make you angry. I want HGH. They burn fat quickly.
Okay, so HGH.
A Mustang,
The car or a horse?
a functional car.
Okay.
It doesn't have to be new. Just
You want
something I
HGH
can
with a
get
horse
around.
is sexy, so I thought maybe you're going there. You're going for like what's the Putin style?
Nah, I mean, it would work, but
Putin was dope on that horse. You might not like Putin style, but I like Putin style. You know what I mean? Like that guy shirtless on a horse, he's like a centaur. So a car. And people in the watching, what's one thing you'd want from real Santa? So you're getting a Mustang, a dope. What color?
red,
Nice.
convertible.
Yeah, I like it. Ooh, top down.
I like to say the
You
titties are out.
got HGH. You got a red Mustang. What else?
Companionship.
But you don't have a. Remember, it's Christmas. It's Santa. Is it Lindsay Lohan? Is it somebody else? You want a buddy movie? You want a lover? What are we going for?
I don't know. I'll let Santa. Sometimes, like the gifts, you kind of leave open to his interpretation. He knows what you want the most.
Because I would, yeah, but you see, and you'd probably be fine with this too, because the way Santa thinks, and you said companionship, you're getting the dog.
No.
Like that's what Santa would do, and you're like, I don't want to. I want a person.
Ironically,
you know what I mean?
dude, that was my answer to how I would take out a kid: a Paw Patrol doll and a pit bull.
So they want a Paw Patrol doll, and they open it up, and it's just a rabid dog. How is he quiet in the box all the time?
No. You're like, you hold up what's the cop's name?
The Paw
You're
Patrol
like-
cop?
Yeah.
I don't remember.
Yeah,
His,
I don't know the Paw Patrol. I don't have kids. But
My
they're
kids were already old when
and
that
the
came
8-year-old's like, oh yeah. And you're like, you ready for the police dog? Pitbull. Go. And then you give the command.
That'd be better if he said Pitbull, and then he came out and he goes, Mr. Kodak, and then fucking that Pitbull came out.
Mr. Worldwide. And they're like, no! The gun Bobby got for Christmas.
Excuse me. And he just danced around.
Human companionship.
Human
point.
companionship, a dope
Or-
car,
I mean,
HGH.
honestly, if you want to combine the dog and the human into one, Puppy
Whoa.
Girl Jenna.
What's the top half? Oh, the Puppy Girl Jenna. I thought you were just like, doing like a thing. Which was the top half? Do you get lady bottom, dog top? What would you rather have? Lady bottom, dog top, or lady top, dog bottom?
That that's really not a winnable answer, is it?
I
'Cause
think
she's
so.
gonna be a bitch either way.
Hey, pow, boom, 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 boom. Fog hat.
After that, I would go with world peace,
What? That's in your top 5 world. Why do you give a fuck about the world?
followed by peace of mind.
What? You don't want that first?
No, the order I gave it in, top 3 are negotiable, but the
Okay.
last 2, let's get those top 3 nailed in first.
All right.
There could be. I don't care about the Middle East as long as I'm riding around with the titties out in a Mustang. You know what I'm saying?
But if you've got the first 3, then I think you kind of got the 5th one. That would give you peace of mind. You got your HGH, you got your dope car, you got your companion.
Oh, Chase is on the case. Good point, Stormy. That's the dog's name.
Oh, thanks.
Sorry, I got my ADHD all over.
No.
the place today.
I don't mean that towards you. I'm like, now everything changed. Now that we know the fucking dog's name, fucking Chevy Chase.
Yeah, that would be, dude. That would Chevy Chase. I want the top half Chevy, the bottom half the dog.
The dog comes in just falling down like Wiki platforming.
Platforming, but also yelling anti-Semitic things as it's chasing around people.
Wait, did he do that?
I just assume.
Oh, I think you confused him with Mark Wahlberg.
Marky Mark.
Marky Mark, before he met the Funky Bunch, he was in the Klan Bunch. That guy used to chase black people, him and his friend, with rocks and gun them at him on a pier.
Okay. I hate to correct you, but I believe it was an Asian he beat blind.
Yeah, that's two separate stories.
Oh, wait, he also chased blacks?
That's how it started.
I thought he just really didn't like Asian people.
No, he hated anybody that
wasn't him. Ah, man. That kind of takes away from it some.
He would chase black people and throw rocks at them until they were like stuck on a pier. Just keep gunning it. And then he got really mad and he called that guy a gook fuck and he fucking blinded him with a fucking punch.
Hey, I know I'm beating you up now, but in a couple years it's going to be okay because you guys, I'm going to steal your culture.
And he didn't get in trouble because he was really good at modeling underwear.
The right stuff? Because he had the right stuff?
Yeah, he did. He was Calvin Klein's bitch.
Oh. That was his brother, right? How did we end up on
right
the
stuff? Yeah.
Yeah. Then all right.
Donnie, who was also in The Sixth Sense, he was in the beginning. He was the one that fucking killed Bruce Willis.
Yeah.
I think we've gone Donnie Wahlberg several times for no reason. Our ADHD always leads to Donnie Wahlberg, and I don't know why.
I'm a big Donnie Wahlberg fan in general.
Yeah, but we never on purpose discuss it. We never have a plan of like, let's do some Donnie talk. We just get into Donnie.
Dude, no one has a plan to do Donnie talk, but no one's mad when it gets there.
Dude, Donnie talk would be, if we change the format of this podcast to just Donnie talk, and if we just talk about people named Donnie, like Donnie Osmond, Donnie Wahlberg, Donnie Darko.
There's a Donnie Baker. Donnie Baker.
I think that's all the Donnies.
I'm going to be honest, I kind of just want to do it specifically about Donnie Baker and Donnie Wahlberg.
Okay. Next week.
Right, I'm in. Yeah.
Donnie counter Donnie. So
all right.
You will choose off air who chooses which Donnie, and then we just keep giving facts until we find who the greatest Donnie is. Like it'll be like the Highlander of Donnies.
I say we take this a step further. I'm going to reach out to Donnie Baker, get him on. You get Donnie Wahlberg on, and we'll go from there.
And if I can't get him, I'll get a guy who looks kind of like him, and his name is Dan Brown.
Dude, to be honest with you, you're probably going to have an easier time getting Wahlberg than Baker.
It sounds, when you say it like that, that's the worst law firm of all times. Wahlberg and Baker.
We're not the ones you're afraid of.
Who's in the jury? Rocks.
You know the ones that control the media, not at Wahlberg and Baker. Did you get caught beating up a minority on Southside?
I just, in my head while you were doing that, was like, how the fuck did we get there? I'm like, oh yeah. So I watched that movie. Dude, that was our biggest rabbit hole of all fucking time. Like, holy shit. Like, we went to 12 things when I was trying to talk about a movie and trying to remember the third guy's name, which is like Masha Haka Ali. He's in a lot of stuff, but I forget what his name is. It's something. It's definitely Ali at the end. And then, like, Kevin Bacon's in it. So, it's a movie that was based on a book, but this movie was produced by Barack and Michelle Obama. Or executive producer supported by. So people got mad at that because it's one of those end of the world type movie things where like what's happening. And it's just like, it's just garbage. Like I want it to be good. It's one of those movies where it's like, it's suspended. Everyone's mad at it, not just me. Like anyone's watching it and talking about it. It's just like fucking, it's all like, oh, what's going to happen? I don't know. I feel suspenseful. And then all of a sudden there's this little girl that's in it. And this is supposed to be like now. So not like a long time ago. Now. But she's upset, like the Wi-Fi is out at this beach house they're at, whatever. And then you find out it's also because there's like a cellular hack thing. I'm not spoiling for anybody. It was a book, so fucking calm down. Anyway, if anything's a book, you can't spoil it, in my opinion, because you should have known it was a book. So fuck off. But the girl, her whole problem isn't the world ending. It's because she's trying to watch the last season of Friends. She's like 8. Why the fuck is she watching Friends? And like she wants to know what's gonna happen to Ross and Rachel. The whole thing ends with the end of the world is happening. There's a fucking nuclear bomb and all this shit and everything. So she escaped. She ran to some house that was abandoned, found their old DVD collection, and then she's just watching Friends. Like the world blows up. It's like bam, 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 and I'm like, if there better be Matthew Perry face up in a pool to end this, and it wasn't. I was so pissed. I know they made it earlier, but if you're gonna do this end of the world, he's got to be there. Like he knew. He should have been like a note, Matthew, going, "This is why I left." They didn't do that. I was pissed the fuck off at that movie. Look, you have Julia Roberts, Ethan fucking Hawke, Masha Shaka 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 Ali. You should have a great movie. Bacon, everything's better with Kevin Bacon.
I always get him confused with Swayze.
Bacon?
Mm-hmm.
Swayze's dead.
Yeah, no, I know.
Well, they did dance a bunch.
Would you trade Swayze for Bacon if you could?
No, I think Bacon is so much better than Swayze.
I would agree. I also feel like Swayze had the Kobe effect where it's like good we didn't see him get old.
Yeah. I never really I liked anything. I mean, obviously I love Roadhouse for how shitty it is. Like, I don't think anyone loves Roadhouse for the fact that no one thinks Roadhouse is a good movie, but it's so bad and he should not have been a tough guy. That's why it's become like a classic, because it's so stupid that him and the Where's the Beef guy, not Where's the Beef, the Beef, it's What's for Dinner, Sam Elliott are like the main fucking guys in it. And it's all homoerotic, that show. But Kevin Bacon's
the best closer that side of the Mississippi. If you bite your fucking tongue.
But Kevin Bacon has been in a bunch of great movies. And he's been great in movies, at least. And he's had some shit shows, too. But he's been great in movies.
He was in X-Men.
Yeah. Which is hilarious that's... If someone says Kevin Bacon movies, you're like... He was in... Like, that's like... Out of all the... No one... And people will say, you're right. I guess he was. I forgot because he's been in so many other things, and no one thinks of Kevin Bacon in the Marvel universe. But he should have shown
better
up
than him in X-Men.
Oh, what's his name? The guy. Fuck, remember the one who plays Magneto.
No. What role did he do better than his role in X-Men?
Oh, that one where he where they got diddled by priests. What the fuck's it called? He was really good in the Priest Diddler. It's not called.
You know what I was able to say right away? X-Men. Just saying.
You said X-Men.
Yeah, that's what it is.
Yeah, I guess X-Men. You kind of made it like a last X-Men. Phil X-Men and his family.
Yeah. They're Jewish.
Kevin Bacon was great in Footloose. He's fucking famous for that.
Bullshit.
What?
For starters,
I was alive when that came out. He was great.
Yeah, he was 45 playing an 18-year-old.
Yeah, they all did.
Went to a town where they weren't allowed to dance.
And he taught him how to fucking dance. Are you kidding me?
And
that's way better than Rosa Parks. Fuck Rosa Parks. You're going to teach a town to dance or get on a bus. Fuck a bus. Everybody dances.
I'm supposed to assume he made dancing cool.
He made white dancing cool.
You know what happened if you danced at my school like that? We called you a fag. You didn't get the girl. We called you like a guy who got a colonoscopy.
First of all, Terry, how are you? And thank you for asking. I was about to pull a diva move and go, if you want to know how my colonoscopy went, you got to watch Compound Media from last week.
Tell him about it.
It went swell.
I thought you said it was shitty.
Heyo. I think swelling also helps. It was fine. I'm good. There's nothing wrong with the inside of my butt. I was told it was pristine, which is nice.
It's the issue. You let them in once. Now they just want to show it off to the world.
No, they said I don't have to go back for 7 years, which I think it's a weird timetable. Like, why 7 years?
Why ever?
Because you can get growths inside your butthole.
But wouldn't you rather just die than have a camera inside of you?
No, I like life.
I think I'm going to change my stance by the time I get to the age where I'm supposed to start getting colonoscopies. But
I was supposed to start, I think at 40 you're supposed to start, and I waited till almost 50. So, like, I was a little late to the butthole game.
Actually, I think in this day and age, they got a lot of blood tests they can do, so you don't have to actually start doing the full camera till 50.
I asked before they put me under, I'm like, hey, and the doctor can't say, I'm not trying to be a jerk, but, like, you would think technology has gotten better where they can not go in your butt. And he goes, probably. And he kind of like smiled and laughed. He's like, in other words, this is the way we do it. But with all the other advances there is, like that one, and also, Bobby, are you a hairy person, like chest wise?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, me too. When they're doing the heart stuff, they've got to come up with a better thing than stickers. Like we have to be at a point in life where we don't have to do that. So you pull it off and we look like we just all blotchy. There's got to be a better way to do that.
I have started trimming the hair a little bit, you know. Just getting ready for that HGH on my Amazon wish list.
Nice. Now, Bobby, you don't really have family issues, but it must be really tough for like the people like I don't know, the Jackson 5 and anyone who got molested by their uncle, and they're like, "Why are you here early for a colonoscopy?" It's like, I got family issues. My uncle won't stop fisting me, so I'll take a camera.
If you having colon problems, man, I feel bad for you, son. I got 99 problems, but a creepy uncle ain't one.
I got 99 colons.
Put it in me.
Your fist ain't one. Oh, imagine having 99 colon. I don't even really know what my colon is.
It's the thing before your butt.
Wait, you know what? We're going to discuss this. Listen, lady who doesn't understand being a man. You're going to shave my chest? I'm not going to sit there as they shave me. Like that, I would
but
do that
they do
myself.
that for like tattoos and stuff. They'll shave you.
What?
Yeah, so they can get to the skin.
Get the fuck out. I'm not letting anyone shave me.
Dude, to be honest with you, so I broke my ankle my junior year of high school.
Oh, this is going to be weird.
No, it's not. I lied. I may have told this story before, but the doctor who did like all the orthopedics in the area was Bob Damas. And I wanted to play in a game because it was a varsity game. We were going to get blown out. My grandpa was there. So I went, hey, Dad, you think I could play today? And he's like, yeah, if you took some painkillers and taped it real tight. I was like, all right, great. Went in when Dr. Bob thinks I could play if I take some painkillers and tape it real tight. And the best way to tape an ankle, instead of putting that pre-wrap on, is to shave the ankle and tape it directly on the skin. So I did that for a season.
Yeah, my brother, when he played football, they all would do that shaved ankle. It looked wacky. It looked like you're wearing hair pants. That's fucking weird. But yeah,
it's not good.
I'm not going anywhere and they're
ankles.
shaving I'd rather have the rip off, whatever. But I'm not going fucking anywhere where they're like, "Hey, you're already laying down. You're in a Johnny coat. Let's shave you." Like, I try to be open minded, but that is some bathhouse shit. I'm not getting shit. What's next? Like, are you gonna put me in someone's ass? Am I a gerbil now? Well, it's not gonna make me slick. I don't need to be slick. I don't need to be aerodynamic. I don't need to fucking be smooth.
Now, while they were putting a camera up your butt, could you have slipped them a few bucks to trim you up?
Probably. They probably could have just robbed me. They could have shaved me anyway, because I told you on the compound thing. Which, by the way, thank you, compound, for letting us be on. It was a lot of fun, whatever, yada, yada. It was, they said to me, I've never been put under, and it wasn't a local, it was the general, whatever, anesthetic.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah,
they
we
were just like,
that.
they're going the fuck out. And I go, okay, what's that like? They go, literally, we tell you to turn on your side once you have the air in you. You're going to turn your side, and then you're going to wake up in the same spot, and we're going to be done. I'm like, that's ridiculous. And then I literally turned, and I woke up, and I was in the like, that's terrifying. Like, to know that
death.
Yeah, I mean, the fact that they have the ability to shut you down like that, like, nothing, you're just, I mean, that's some Cosby shit, right?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, the stuff they gave you is literally what killed Michael Jackson.
Right, you were saying that, but like at a much bigger dose, obviously.
Yeah, but so as a kid, I had tubes a bunch where they would like put things in your ears because you got too many ear infections, and so I would get to the point where I'd start trying to fight the anesthesia, which was a fun game. See how long you could last. When I had my appendectomy my junior year of college, I made it all the way into the operating room, and they started drawing on me before I made it asleep.
Oh yeah, because you were going like hard. Like there was no openings made on me, so I don't think I had to go that crazy. You know what I mean?
No, I just wanted to fight it and see how long I could stay awake. You know,
but they
if,
literally,
for instance, the CIA started poisoning me.
Whenever I saw the CIA come, I was like, "Get out of here!" Like, all right. Once you
Like,
call them out, they have to go away. That's the rules of the
There's
CIA.
no oil in my butt, CIA. They're like, swiper, no swiping. CIA, no CIAing.
You're not gonna put that in my CIA. Take it easy.
Whoa.
Ooh, he CIA, my butt. They literally knocked me out, did butt stuff to me, dressed me back up, and put me on fucking. That's rape, right? I mean, I signed a form.
Yeah. That's you consent. You literally signed the consent form.
Right, but they're like, hey, sign this form. But still, it's not what I. They could have done anything. They could have pictures of them like posing in front of my asshole, like they're like a hunter with a lion. You know, like they can do whatever they want once I'm out.
They do.
And then, for people here, if you remember last week's show, Bobby had said that I could get the footage if I asked, and I did ask, and they looked at me like I was the fucking dumbest man. So, Bobby, that was a wonderful job by you, because I was
Thank you for falling for that.
because you were also because it was better because you were like, oh, we can show it on the show, not on here, but like on Compound, we could provide a paywall, and I'm like, that would be fucking hilarious if we got that footage. So when I was done, they're like, I was like, oh, can I get the footage, the video of it? And they're like, what? I go, I was told that I could have it. They're like, you can't have it. I go, it's my butthole. And the nurse starts laughing. She goes, we can't give it out. I go, if I wanted it, I could have it. She goes, you probably have to go through like a legal system. We don't have to give you video of your butthole. And I'm like, ah. She goes, why do you want it? I'm like, a podcast. She goes, who would watch that? I go, people would watch the inside of my butthole.
You'd be surprised, man.
Yeah. So that's why I said to her, we'll just get other footage. She's like, we're going to get it. I'm like, I don't know. And then on Compound, Garrett found it right away. And it was really gross stuff. How did you
Multiple versions.
Wait, Terry, I didn't get photos or anything. They sent me a card 2 days later saying, thanks for being so great.
That's how I handle my sexual deeds, too. I go, thanks for letting me in that ass.
Hey, last night was magical. Here's a card. And it showed a fireplace, which I'm like, there was no fireplace here. What is this card for? Like, that made me feel like they did shit to me. Like, if they sent me a card.
Oh, they did. They were inside of you.
Oh, man. So I'm not a virgin butthole anymore.
No, you are not, sir.
Like, how deep do they go? Where is my colon? How far is that?
Like your belly button.
They went all the way through?
Yeah, like it goes up your intestines and.
I don't even know where. I know the colon's for poop. Is that its only job for poop?
Mm-hmm.
So I eat food, and then the belly puts it in the colon, and the colon puts it in my butthole?
Mm-mm. Belly, large intestine, small intestine.
Oh, I forgot about those guys.
Then the colon.
When I was younger, I do know now, I don't know a lot about it, but I do know better. But when I was younger, I thought that the small intestine took care of the small food and the large intestine took care of the large food.
That's only logical, right? And to some extent, that's
retarded.
true. No, like it is the filtering process.
Right, but I thought like if I ate like a big piece of chicken, even though I chewed it, my intestine knew it was once a big piece of chicken. But if I had Skittles, it went into my small one. Like it was, they knew. Yeah, you gave me too much credit.
Like a coin sorter, almost.
Yes, very much so, like a coin sorter.
I get that.
Yeah, but that's when I knew how dumb I was. Every time I had a colonoscopy, I was told you might be awake during the procedure. Been getting them since I was 40. Well, dude, first of all, Rich, I'm happy you're taking care of yourself and everything. That kind of sucks. It's become like second nature and everything. But unless you're just doing it for sport, okay? I hope if it's medical, I hope you're taking care of yourself. If you're just like, no, Pat, it's just the amount of money I could either spend for a happy ending or for this. My insurance covers this. You know what I mean? So
yeah, you don't want it unless it's like that. But it's actually a heated debate whether or not you should get general or local. We kind of talked about that, though, didn't we?
I can't remember if we talked about it on Compound or here. I think it was on here.
Dr. Steve's a big proponent of if you don't absolutely have to be under like you were, don't. Because there's always that 5% chance.
Yeah.
Like if something goes wrong with the camera and you're awake, they'll just pull the camera out. You'll be like, there's not an issue there. They can do it again rather than knocking out. But a lot of people like to do that because it's more clean. It's boom, boom, boom. Kind of like you said, you go to sleep. So.
Yeah, when we were on here, too, last time, remember I was making the joke, I got to run to the bathroom, but I was all done, and I had to wake up one more time in the middle of the night and do it one more time before I had to go. And I really didn't have a lot of... Everyone was talking about how I'd be, like, stuck in the toilet forever. Like, now, okay, for an hour each time, I was stuck on the toilet, basically. But I expected that. I just played games on my phone, like, back and forth. but it wasn't like hours and hours. I was actually able to, after the second dose, I walked to the hospital. It's like a 10-minute walk. I was like, I'm not gonna get an Uber. I felt great, and I walked to the bathroom. I had to wait in the waiting room for like 40 minutes. I was good.
The good news too is if you did take an Uber, you wouldn't be able to just shit wherever you needed to. If you're walking and it was a real issue, you could just kind of
Where?
the grass.
You shit. You've kind of seen where I live.
Sometimes,
I don't really have
Pat,
woods.
Sometimes, Pat, there's a shitter on the grassy knoll.
Yeah, but then there'd be like a second one, and I'm like, who's that guy?
It was Terry. He also had a colonoscopy that day.
Man, this is a really big colonoscopy show.
Yeah, I'm starting to learn the demo of our audience.
I skipped
it's
this.
It's you oldies and me and
This was
Stormy.
actually pretty good.
Thanks. That is pretty good. Stormy for the win.
Stormy works for Hallmark, not the movies, the cards.
No.
We were learning about, where is it? Someone said something about they check out the entire colon and stop right before the small intestine. Okay.
That's typically what I do with anal too.
Whoa. Anal too. Now more anal.
Even more anal.
I don't like anal. I don't think you're supposed to do it. I think we've had this talk many times, almost too many times, but I don't know. I just think if vagina's right there, if vagina's on the menu, I'm having vagina.
Look at Kish got caught talk to texting here.
Family medical history. My mom died from colon cancer over 30 years ago. Oh, man. Poor guy. I'm sorry. No one in my family, no one in my family's ever had colon cancer. We had breast cancer, and I don't have tits, so I think I'm good. That's not how it works.
I got tits. I'm a little worried.
Oh, man. Did anyone in your family have tits cancer?
Oh, yeah, everyone, dude.
Oh, God, get rid of your tits.
Yeah, dude, my mom, like every woman has that, and then every dude has a heart attack by like 45, so.
What the fuck, dude? What's wrong with your people? What are you,
Live
Oompa
hard.
Loompas? Like, why are you
Live
all
fast,
dying
die
off?
young.
Holy shit.
Live fast, die young, bad
Yeah,
girls
Kish,
do
you
it
should.
well.
If you're getting that many colonoscopies, you should be asleep now. you should just be always out. Oh, but dude, your butthole must be able to take anything.
He probably just shits. No pushing. It just slides out.
What the fuck? I wasn't ready for you to say that at all. He just shits.
Yeah, man. Sometimes, you got to struggle, but he probably.
No, I knew exactly what you meant. It was clear as day. But also, I've never really just thought about that way, how we all sit down, we pace. Unless you like something terrible's happened, you don't just go. Like, imagine having no and just literally you're just going over there. And just,
like not having to worry about being hydrated enough to get it all out. Like, God, life would be easy.
No, it wouldn't, dude, because you always need that second to get the pants down. Like your body starts going, we're here, and then you don't have that time for the pants down, and you're just dropping bombs.
Ooh, good point. That's why Eminem wrote that song about Baghdad.
Yeah, and also why he said "mom spaghetti" because that's what his shit looks like when it came out of his asshole.
He was dehydrated.
That was actually going to be his first name, Dehydrated. Dude, stop it. Terry Nee. My proctologist found my wife's IUD from 1998. In you? It's not a good time. You don't want to find other people's stuff in there. They didn't find any stuff. They did remove something. I guess I had a polyp, but he said it was fine. I don't even know what a polyp is. I was like, thanks. I left it there on purpose, and the doctor just looked at me.
Doctors don't typically have a good sense of humor.
Yeah, I also don't think my delivery was really good after the drugs.
No, your delivery's always on point, baby. I've seen you high.
High's one thing, but fucking groggy. I don't really do much groggy comedy.
You found a polyp of Daisy in my ass? They're like, just go back to sleep.
To the polyp of Daisy. I forgot that old phrase existed, and that's the thing we all knew. Episode.
Oh yeah.
It can't be because I can't spell polyp. I'm not doing research. By the way, that's not going to be that's not going to be the thumbnail clickbait. Ooh, polyp of Daisy.
But anyone we get's gonna be happy with the content within, I think.
Oh, they're gonna just like inside my butthole. They weren't happy on the outside, but they were happy with the content within.
Give me your dates real quick. I'm gonna run to the bathroom.
All right, I will talk to all them for a minute anyway. But yeah, so the procedure, Terry. Thanks for asking. It went, I guess, fine. They found like a polyp thing. They also said, and okay, you guys are smart. They said that there's a slight hint of diverticulitis, and I don't know what that is really. But I was like, I know that Brock Lesnar had it when he won a fucking UFC belt or something. So I was like, oh wow, maybe I can win a championship. But they're like, you're fine and nothing bad. But that was it. And they said, we'll see you in 7 years. They said if it's really good, you can see you in 10. If it's decent, you'll see you in 7. But I guess for you guys, it's like, well, you get like Kish and Terry Nee have like Subway cards where they get them punched or every 6 colonoscopy they get a sandwich and a hat or something. But
They
yeah,
just have better insurance than you do.
yeah. Oh yeah. I was shocked they got cameras. I thought I was gonna get a Polaroid up there. Like my insurance stinks.
The old time we have to sit there for an hour to get it developed.
There's the smoke pops up.
Yeah. Why does my butthole burn?
By the way, I'm sure somebody there was asking that question at the hospital. Why does my butthole burn?
I've been that guy.
Butthole burns. That could be the name of the episode.
Not on
Can
pose.
we call it George Butthole Burns?
Yes, we can.
Yes, okay.
And we got your next year's Halloween costume.
She's got a cigar in both ends. It's like, I don't remember much about George Burns, but I remember when I was younger, people were like, he's one of the greatest comedians ever. No one's saying that now. No one ever. You bring up a list of 5 million comedians and no one goes, George Burns. No, the doctor said 7. Fucking Terry Nee. You're not Dr. Nee. You're Terry Nee. 7 years. They said I'm 7 because there's a hint of diverticulitis, not like a sign.
So this actually reminded me of something.
But by the way, I'm also kidding. Terry, you're right. I'm going to go next week. Anyway, no.
I went to a friend of the show, Andrew Glessner's roast Wednesday.
Yeah, man. How'd that go?
It was good. It was a lot of fun. I did probably 5 of the 10 minutes I was allotted. But here's the deal. I knew about half the people on the docket, including Glessner. Right. So I made fun of the people I knew.
Mike O'Donnell, Manny.
Manny wasn't actually on the docket, so I made fun of O'Donnell. There was a guy named Andrew Brooks there who looked like O'Donnell let himself go, so like that was how I worked him in. You know, stupid things like that. But then there was a guy named Andrew Pollock, and he's very heavy set. I really like Andrew. He's an incredible writer. So I wanted to make fun of him as kind of a way of being like, I know we don't hang out, but I acknowledge that you're on the level of the guys I'm making fun of.
How fat is he?
Very fat.
Like, we're talking what?
Like, E-Rock could hang out with him to look skinny.
E-Rock is not fat. I know everybody says that. We saw him the other day. He's not fat. He just has a larger head, but he's not fat.
But, so my joke was like, hey, Pollock, glad to see you have both your legs, you fat fuck. Then I did something about he looks like both Pigpen and a pig in a pen, and that, you know, the host would fuck them both. You know, that kind of stuff. But, dude, he took a beating in the teeth. Like, apparently one of the jokes from his set that's a true story is he tried to kill himself, but the beam broke. Like, that was referenced by every other comedian. Like, just really took a beating.
That really did happen? He really tried to kill himself, and then the wood gave?
Mm-hmm.
And he just didn't even... I guess you don't try. I guess if you're going to kill yourself and it fails, you don't try again.
I knew somebody who tried 3 times, and the funniest thing I ever heard was her brother went, "You suck at everything in life. You can't even kill yourself right."
That's a good brother. That's a quality fucking person to have in your life.
Great line. At that point, he was just trying to get her to let me dip again, so I was Team Noah.
Jesus Christ.
Anyway, back to the story. So, Damien, who's been a guest on this podcast, goes up, and Damien and Charles did not write. Charles got a couple of jokes, got off. Damien just kind of ranted. And was like saying factually mean things, but not with many punchlines.
He didn't have the delivery you're supposed to have in a roast form, right?
He didn't have the setup punchline delivery. He just kind of was talking about facts off the top of his head, and most of them
Andrew Glessner got me eyeball like a Forrest Whitaker. Yo, he quit all wonky and shit. He can help you cross the road and not cross the road at the same time. That motherfucker got double vision. You know, Foreigner, they sang a song double vision.
Exactly.
This motherfucker look like a foreigner. He like, what the fuck is a Glessner anyway? You got a glass eye and a Gless name.
And all that stuff was very funny, like good for everybody except for Pollock, who he just spent most of his 25 minutes going after.
25
and
minutes.
just being like, Andy's a virgin. So finally, at one point, I lean over and go, hey, if you want to laugh, Andrew, light him. And so he stands up and gives him the light and goes, you motherfucker, did you just give me the light? and Drew's like, yeah, somebody had to. I wanted them to be able to see your face or something. You know, he hits him with a funny joke, sits down, keeps going. The guy goes after him. He's like, and Pollock had the balls to give me the light. How about you light yourself the next time you're trying to get laid, you virgin motherfucker? And he just looks at him and goes, hey, 12 years of set, shut the fuck up. And the whole room, dude, you heard a plate drop, just boom. So it made me very happy.
Did he laugh at least, Damien?
Oh, yeah, Damien has a great sense of humor.
No, but that could be... I've been there too, where you're going back and forth and going, and then you name one of the slave movies, it can go hit or miss.
No, and like Damien's, thank God, is the type of guy who he's as ruthless as can be and doesn't mind if you are in return. You know what I mean? Like he actually has a good sense of humor. He doesn't get a hot head like some people like me.
But he also did 25 minutes at a roast that wasn't his.
Well, I gave him my time.
You don't take it. When you go to a roast and someone gives time away, you leave that time away so they can get to Glessner's and you can get out of it. You know what I mean? You don't amass it like you're fucking Pokemon collecting things.
No. Mike O'Donnell had a great line, which was like, I know a lot of us hate comedic magicians because that was the guy who was here the next week. But he was like, but one took Bobby's girl, so I guess they're good for something, huh?
Nice.
And just punched me in the jaw real quick.
Now, but there was enough people there that knew you, so it made sense.
The 5 people on stage laughed real hard, and Manny in the back cackled pretty hard, so it worked. Yeah, like
was there an
laughed.
audience?
Probably about 30-ish. Most of them were like friends or comedians. It ended up being a real fun time. I got to see a lot of the local guys I like a lot. You know, that's always cool.
Yeah, well, and that's a good amount. You don't want anything bigger because then you feel like you're playing to them and having to over-explain. You can still be yourselves and have fun and use your written jokes. Because a lot of times when you write things, especially with friends, you're trying to write them just to nail the friends. And then the audience is left there going, I don't know anything about Michael O'Donnell. You know what I mean? It's not their fault. It's just like you kind of laugh at a mean thing. But
yeah,
you had
exactly.
like 100 people and he did that line 12 years a set, people be like, oh my God, no. But if it's like 30 people that all know each other, then you can have fun.
It was perfect. Exactly. You get exactly the energy it was. And then it's tough too because you're like, I know a lot of these guys are friends with Glessner, but this one girl's just trying to be funny and yelling mean things about me. And in about 10 seconds, I could roast her. You know what I mean? Like, but I don't want to because it's not my time to shine. So just smile and be like, yeah, no, you're definitely a comedian, not a lawyer with 9 kids.
Yeah, I did one time where there was like, it was for the radio station before I was working for them. I was just hired to be a comic at it. And like one of the radio personalities was being roasted. There was a lot of radio guys, 1 or 2 comics on the show, that's it. But there was, they sold tickets through the radio station. So there was a couple hundred people at this thing. And we're high up on the stage and they're all there sitting in like, not a couple, but like 200 at least. And that's, you're playing real big. And like, I think I did better because I didn't know anybody. So I had to write like almost like jokes that would make sense. I had to do research, then write a joke. So it was more of like telling a joke like if you watched a movie and did it on stage than the guys who like maybe didn't do as well, but their shit was probably way more hard hitting and more personal to the guy than mine. You know what I mean? Because I didn't have that connection. So like if it was a small crowd, they would have done better. And with the huge crowd, I lucked out and did great. But like, even the guy we were roasting, I had nothing on him because there wasn't. I was like, "You're nice."
Yeah,
I shit on everyone else. Like, you're a swell fella.
I kind of had my issue was, if you know Glessner, and you've seen him on this show, you know I make fun of him for his eye. So all of my jokes were about that. And by the third one, the audience was over it. And I was just like, all right, well, I'm going to then get out of here and just look forward to when we all do this for his divorce. All right. And, you know, got off quick. But, like,
you should have said, I'm going to be unlike Andrew and look forward to his divorce.
I think somebody said that already in the,
I'm sure there's a million.
Oh, dude, it was great. It was a great time. So well done, everybody, especially Lennon, who was the host, who kept it all together. He really put the roster together in an order of, like, great writer, very energetic, great writer, keeping everybody on board. So, great time by all.
What's up, Brian? Wonderful to see you, and I think we're about to wrap up.
Unfortunately, yeah. Sorry, boss.
Bobby, what do you got?
Shippensburg. I will be there. New Year's. Pat, what do you got?
No, go ahead. New Year's Eve?
New Year's Eve. Me, Earl David Reed, Shippensburg. Come on out.
Is the place called Shippensburg or the town of Shippensburg?
The town of Shippensburg. We're somewhere there. We may be at the comedy club. I don't know if they've got a new location or not. It's the guy who used to run the Shippensburg comedy club's running it, but I don't know if it's at a new location or just a venue.
Nice. Tomorrow morning I'll be back on Chaz and AJ. I'll be on around 7:20 till 10. So if you're go to their app, because most of you aren't from Connecticut, if you go to their app or go to WPLR.com website or the WPLR app, you can listen to it there. It'll be fun to be on there. Wednesday I'm on some podcast. I should know the name. Some kind of jukebox ginger. I don't know. Whatever. I'll post a thing about it. We'll do. Maybe you and I will get to do one more this week. I got some open days. And then Friday I'm at Riverwalk Social in Derby, the show I put on there with a bunch of young comics on the show, so come check that out as well. New Year's Eve we have a big show as well in Derby. Me, Avery Quinn, Mats Palazzo. It'll be a lot of fun. So
I was gonna ask you what you were doing
for New Year's Eve. What are you doing? That terrible song, but yeah, I got Avery and Mats Palazzo and me on New Year's Eve. We already sold a bunch of tickets, so it's going fast. So make sure you grab those. Besides that, hey, everybody smash the fucking like button, subscribe, tell your friends, whatever. Stormy, again, thank you for all the fucking dope clips every week that you're giving us. It's been awesome that you're doing that. We really do appreciate it. Really happy that everybody. Kish, thank you for butt stuff. Terry Nee, thank you for butt stuff. Stormy, your fiance says that thank you for butt stuff. Everyone else that was here, it was great. What did we decide, George? Oh, George
Burns butthole. George
Butthole Burns.
George Butthole.
George Burns Butthole is even more fun. I might go with that one. Because like, are they going to talk about George Burns? Did I get a picture of George Burns and just his butthole? It's either way.
Terry, yes, Shippensburg, PA. I am at Maxie's Brew House. So if you want to check it out, let me know, and I'll see what I can do for you.
Yeah, hook him up. Terry will be there. You can see
the
Earl David Reed and the Earl David Reed dancers and you.
And me.
Is there anyone else on the show or just you guys?
I think it's me and him, but it may be Lennon, and who knows? I may not even.
Oh, that's fun either way, so that's great.
Have all the details other than it's Roxy's and me and him will be there.
Awesome.
Maxie's, not Roxy's.
Maxie's. Do they have an area in the back they call the pad?
I'm sure that's where we'll be hanging.
The Maxi pad. Boom. All right.
It's gonna be wet. Right. If you can't beat them, if you can't join them, beat them.
It should be wet. Make it dry.
Don't be a wet Maxi pad.
Oh, gross. No.
Or a piece of shit.